Customers are looking for a modernized virtualization stack. And I don't just mean modernized in the sense of Kubernetes and containers, but just how do I make a shift forward in how I approach virtualization? How do I simplify it? How do I build a private cloud? And also, how do I reuse the resources that I have in my data center as I make that move?
Cody, welcome to Nutanix.next.
Thanks.
Pleasure to have you here.
Great to be here.
So you've been an industry veteran with virtualization. Tell us a little bit about what you're hearing from customers as they look to modernize their infrastructure.
It's like almost anything in IT where there's some problems that you expect to have and be dealing with in the upcoming year, and then there's some problems that you don't necessarily expect to have. And we've heard this resounding feedback where, dial the clock back a year, 2 years, customers are expecting to involve themselves in the Kubernetes journey and containerization. Everyone knew AI was coming like faster and faster. And so these were the focus areas that they were really thinking about how they solve. Well, one thing that they weren't generally expecting to be digging into or redoing was also the virtualization layer. And so now these all have bubbled up as top board level strategic problems to solve. And they're looking for partnership vendors that can solve all of these things together. How do I get some economies of scale out of my stack? And that's what we've been seeing and hearing.
So what led us to have this partnership together, Nutanix and Everpure, and the solution we built? What's so compelling about it for customers, given that journey?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple pieces out of it, right? One is just like, it's such a natural fit. The words we used earlier today, I think, was shared blood, but I almost feel like separated at birth is a better way to look at it. It's just, there's a lot of commonality around how we build products, how we support our customers, not only the value prop around simplicity and the focus around engineering excellence, but just culturally how these companies come together is exactly what our customers are looking for. They're looking for partnerships they can trust, right? And so it was a very natural fit just from a company cultural perspective and how we focus on customers that's bringing value between this partnership to customers.
And what are some of the solution values that customers find compelling right now?
Customers are looking for a modernized virtualization stack. And I don't just mean modernized in the sense of Kubernetes and containers, but just how do I make a shift forward in how I approach virtualization? How do I simplify it? How do I build a private cloud? And also, how do I reuse the resources that I have in my data center as I make that move?
There's a supply chain constraint especially, right?
Supply chain constraint, and also like, hey, I have storage platforms that I want to continue using, right? Whether I'm buying new or not. And so bringing together our existing technologies and building new ones is where a lot of that focus comes from. And so extending capacities for customers that want to use their compute, that currently use a 3-tier architecture, bringing that into the Nutanix fold with Everpure is a main focus for what we're doing here, is bringing our products together, not just testing them and validating, but really co-engineering so the customers get a consistent experience from the Nutanix side, but also can leverage Everpure FlashArray feature functionality and use cases natively with the platform. And that's really what we're building.
Yeah, it's really better together, best of both worlds from the solution experience perspective.
Exactly.
Now, you've been talking to a lot of customers here at the show, and many of them ask us, so, where are you guys going? What's the innovation look like? What's the roadmap look like? Any sneak peek you care to share in terms of where we're working together?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I put it generally in 2 buckets, right? Bucket number 1 is like allowing our customers to leverage our functionality in the Prism management interface within the Nutanix stack across the board. And a repeating ask that we've got that we're heavily focused on right now is things like replication, our active synchronous replication called Active Cluster. These are things that we are jointly reviewing on how we can bring this into the fold. The other piece outside of just core features, right, is use cases. What we started off in the beginning is customer problem statement here is, how do I approach Kubernetes? Yeah. How do I approach AI? And there's a natural partnership beyond just even the FlashArray product from our side with Nutanix AI, Nutanix Kubernetes platform, NKP, which we've recently validated. So we're not just looking for a way to help store your VMs, but also really focus on your applications and growing your business with this partnership.
And goes back to what you said at the beginning, modern virtualization, check, but also the journey for containers and AI and cloud is also something that we're focused on.
Absolutely.